Welcome to For the Kingdom. My name is Angel, and we're continuing in Matthew chapter 11 for our daily devotional. And let's dive right in. Let's just get right into it. I also wanted to kind of throw out there, I've been noticing that the videos have been going up to like 15 minutes, right? And so that we're able to fit in everything that we're for our daily devotional, I'm gonna go ahead and just not do that intro for a little while, just so that we're able to have the time for for our daily devotional, just for a while as we read through these. But let me go ahead and let's just dive right in on Matthew chapter 11, and it starts off by saying, "When Jesus had finished giving these instructions to his 12 disciples, he went out to teach and preach in towns throughout the region. John the Baptist, who was in prison at the time, heard about all the things the Messiah was doing, so he sent his disciples to ask Jesus, 'Are you the Messiah we've been expecting, or should we keep looking for someone else?' And in verse 4, Jesus told them, 'Go back to John and tell him what you have heard and seen. The blind see, the lame walk, those with leprosy are cured, the deaf hear, the dead are raised to life, and the good news is being preached to the poor.' And then he added, God blesses those who do not fall away because of me." As John's disciples were leaving, Jesus began talking about him to the crowds. "What kind of man did you go into the wilderness to see? Was he a weak reed, swayed by every breath of wind? Or were you expecting to see a man dressed in expensive clothes? No, people with expensive clothes live in palaces. Were you looking for a prophet? Yes, and he is more than a prophet. John is the man to whom the scriptures refer when they say, 'Look, I am sending my messenger ahead of you, and he will prepare your way before you.'" So here we have John the Baptist. He's in prison, and so he gets wind of the idea of that someone is out there saying, and people are saying this is the Messiah. So he sends his disciples out because he wants to know for sure. Because Jesus comes and he doesn't exactly do what John the Baptist was expecting Jesus to do, was to come and then boom, judgment was going to come on everybody, and it didn't happen. And so Jesus tells the disciples, "Go tell John the Baptist that this is what was spoken in the scriptures, that this was going to happen, and what was going to happen was that the blind was going to see, the lame were going to walk, the leprosy were going to be cured, the deaf were going to hear, the dead are going to rise." And so they went back and told John the Baptist that. And then Jesus starts to talk about how John the Baptist was, he was looked that he was the one that was going to prepare the way for Jesus, where it says, "Look, I am sending my messenger ahead of you, and he will prepare your way before you." And Jesus is saying that is John the Baptist, that he was the one that was going to prepare the way for Jesus. So in verse 11 it says, "I tell you the truth, of all who have ever lived, none is greater than John the Baptist." See, he's still talking about him right there. "Yet even the least person in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he is. And from the time John the Baptist began preaching until now, the kingdom of heaven has been forcefully advancing." Let me read that again so we can understand this, right? That Jesus is trying to like say something awesome here. "And from the time John the Baptist began preaching until now, the kingdom of heaven has been forcefully advancing, and violent people are attacking it. For before John came, all the prophets and the law of Moses look forward to this present time. And if you are willing to accept what I say, he is Elijah, and the one the prophet said would come. Anyone with ears to hear should listen and understand. To what can I compare this generation?" Jesus is about to do something here. "To what can I compare this generation? It is like children playing a game in the public square. They complain to their friends, 'We played wedding songs and you didn't dance. So we played funeral songs and you didn't mourn.'" Do y'all hear that? Jesus just said, "You a bunch of children, you complain too much." And then he went off and gave them an example. Jesus was speaking to them. He's like, you know, they complain. This generation is just a bunch of complainers. And how many can say amen to our generation right now, that Jesus can be literally almost speaking to our generation, that generation right now that's all about canceling. It's all about canceling and cancel. Um, that Jesus is saying, to what can I compare this generation? It is like children playing a game in the public square and they complain to their friends. We played wedding songs and you didn't dance. We played funeral songs and you didn't mourn. In 18 it says, for John didn't spend his time eating and drinking, and you say he's possessed by a demon. The Son of Man, on the other hand, feasts and drinks, and you say he's a glutton and a drunkard and a friend of a tax collector and other sinners. So they called him all this stuff, but wisdom is shown to be right by its results. In verse 20, it says that then Jesus began to denounce the towns where he had done so many of his miracles, because they hadn't repented of their sins and turned to God. And these are towns where he had done so many of his miracles. And we're talking to believers here, right? You've seen Jesus do amazing things, and yet we still don't get it. We still don't get it. You see it almost, a lot of us physically in the natural. When Jesus moves, we see it in the natural a lot of times, and we still don't get it. It says in 21, what sorrow awaits you, Chorazin and Bethsaida? For if the miracles I did in you had been done in the wicked Tyre and Sidon, their people would have repented of their sins long ago, clothing themselves in burlap and throwing ashes on their heads to show their remorse. I tell you, Tyre and Sidon will be better off on Judgment Day than you. Wow. And you people of Capernaum, will you be honored in heaven? No, you will go down to the place of the dead. For if the miracles I did for you had been done in wicked Sodom, it would still be here today. I tell you, even Sodom will be better off on Judgment Day than you. And he's trying to get everyone to understand, like, he's not just doing these miracles for nothing, these miracle signs and wonders for nothing. And the people still weren't repenting of their sins and turning to God after even seeing all of that. And so Jesus is talking very strongly, very powerfully here, which he does. And that's why we love Jesus. He done throw some stuff on everybody there. In 25, it says, at the time Jesus prayed this prayer, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, thank you for hiding these things from those who think themselves wise and clever, and for revealing them to the childlike. Yes, Father, it pleased you to do it this way. Those who think themselves to be wise and clever, those who think they are righteous, those who think very boastful, things were hidden from them, but revealed to those who were childlike. Because we've heard it, like, unless you are like a child, you will not see the kingdom of heaven, right? We hear that. And so he goes on to say, my Father has entrusted everything to me. No one truly knows the Son except the Father, and no one truly knows the Father except the Son, and those to whom the Son chooses to reveal him. Then Jesus said, come to me, all you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Let me read that again, because this Jesus is speaking to somebody right here that's watching, and Jesus is saying, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light. So many times we're carrying this heaviness and these heavy burdens, and we're trying to do life on our own, and we got it. We got it. I totally got this. I got this. And it's just so heavy for us, and we're exhausted spiritually, and we're wondering why we are exhausted spiritually, why we're not advancing, why things aren't going the way they're going. And it's because we're carrying this huge heaviness on our back from your life experiences, from things that you've gone through, from broken hearts that you've experienced, from your you've having emotional damage because of relationships, because of family stuff. And here Jesus is saying, come to me, and and I will give you rest. He says, let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. He wants to remove that burden off of you. He wants to be able to take that weight off of you and give you rest. So if we take anything, it's awesome that this chapter ends like that. So if we take anything, let's take that. Let's take that Jesus is making it available. The door is open right there for us, where we can come to Jesus and say, Jesus, just take it from me. Where we can leave it at his feet, and he says, I got this. Don't worry, I got you. But it's when we do that, when we surrender to him in that way, and he says, for my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light. We can feel light when it comes to this spiritual stuff, this damage that we've went through. Jesus can heal it. Jesus can take it off your chest. Jesus can take it off your shoulders and give you rest. So if you're needing rest from everything that's been going on in life with you, Jesus can give you rest. And this is just a reminder for everyone watching and listening right now, that Jesus wants to give you rest. He wants you to give him your burdens, because he will take that from you, and then he will give you rest. So that's it for today. I pray that you received something today. I sure did. It's a huge reminder. I'm definitely going to start my day off so good, so well, and I'm just excited for it. Just keep that in mind throughout your day. Jesus wants to give me rest. You know what? I'm gonna release it all to him, and he'll give you rest. But that's it for today. God bless you. Have an amazing day, and don't forget to read your word. I mean, go into another book. Start to read a little further in. Seek his kingdom more, and watch how he starts to move in your life. So God bless you guys. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you guys on the next one.